Okay, greetings and thanks for tuning in to this supplemental video. These will be short, probably 3 in all, actually maybe even less. Uh, we'll see. First of all, I just want to point out that when you do standard costing, what you're doing is you're figuring out based on expected costs and expected quantities and expected hours. You're using all these expectations and assumptions to figure out what one unit will cost. That's what the standard cost means. And if you take that number for 1 unit and multiply it out times the number of anticipated units that you expect to produce, that will give you your total budget costs. And that was answer A on the practice quiz, the one that we had a question about. I got it confirmed today, so now you know. When it comes to variances, I want to just make sure you're catching it, that the variance can be favorable, meaning things are better than we expected, or they can be unfavorable, things are not as good as we expected it. The favorable, which will be listed as a positive number, things came out better than we expected, and the unfavorable will be listed as a negative number. The theory is that on the first blush, a positive or favorable variance is a good thing. We did better than we expected. And on first blush, the negative or unfavorable variance is a bad thing. But as we pointed out many times last night, that good or bad is relative, because you could have a good result by using cheaper products or cheaper labor or less product or less labor and be producing an inferior product. Well, that's not good. So you might get a good variance because you're reducing costs and quantity, but that's not necessarily good. And bad may not necessarily be bad, because maybe you're using better quality employees that cost more, or putting more hours in, or better materials, or just putting in more better priced materials or more materials and getting a better product, and the result could be at the end of the day good. That's just relative terms as to whether it's a positive number or a negative number, and for favorable or unfavorable. And when it comes to this concept of favorable or unfavorable, when you do the total variance, what you're basically doing is taking your favorable or unfavorable variance here, and then you're doing the same thing here and the same thing here, which we'll be talking about soon. But the concept is this could be a plus or a minus, this could be a plus or a minus, this could be a plus or a minus, meaning each one of these could be favorable or unfavorable. This could be favorable or unfavorable. This could be favorable or unfavorable. The net of all these together will yield either a positive number, which then we'll say is a total favorable variance, or it could net a negative number, which we would then say is a total unfavorable variance. That's just jargon. It's just the way we talk in order to get the understanding of which way the variance has gone, either up or down, positive or negative, from what our regular and budgeted standard cost and number of hours we expected, and number of amount of material, and cost of goods, and cost of labor, all those factors. The favorable or unfavorable is just telling us in relationship to what we budgeted in all those different categories what happened. Okay, I will take, I think that's good for this. We're going to stop now. I'll pick it up in a few minutes.